The lore of Hollow Knight is a topic that has been discussed immensely by the community, you could even say a bit too much. But there's something that has always bugged me when people discuss one of the most crucial parts of the story.
The Radiance was somehow channeled into the vessel.
And use one of them as a living prison for the Radiance.
To create a pure vessel that could contain the Radiance.
We know that the Pale King used the Hollow Knight to contain the infection, but the question is, how? I have prepared 3 theories that could potentially answer this question. I'll also make a community poll so you guys can vote on which theory you think is the best. Enjoy! It is a proven fact that the vessels can focus. Rather than absorbing or finding the ability, the knight spawns with the ability already equipped. We can also see the pure vessel using some sort of focus attack during his fight, as well as several focused base charms spread across Hallownest. In 2 of the 3 base game endings, the knight must focus the infection out of the Hollow Knight's body and into its own. However, if you look closely, not only is the knight absorbing infection from Big Bro, but from the air surrounding it. There is no reason to suggest that the Hollow Knight didn't do this when it first took in the infection, sucking the radiance out of all infected bugs across the kingdom. Perhaps it used soul totems, or maybe even the snail shamans, for the soul that may have been required to achieve this. Although it is unclear whether the previously infected bugs would remain alive after this feat, it certainly would have been an effective way to seal the infection. Maybe this was the godly focus the God Seekers were referring to. In order for this theory to work, it would require that the Radiance could only infect one bug at a time, moving from one dream to the next. In this scenario, the Pale King could have simply waited for the Radiance to try to infect the empty mind of the Hollow Knight, where unbeknownst to the Radiance it would remain trapped forever. This would make some sense, but unfortunately there are a few issues with this. First of all, why would the Radiance wait until the Hollow Knight was trained and grown to attempt to infect it? It seems like the chosen child of her arch-nemesis would be first on the list. Unless of course, the Radiance knew that it was a trap and waited until the child was no longer empty, which would be a point for the Radiance, but something about that just doesn't feel right. The other main reason being that we can see certain bugs, mainly Bretta and Sly, actively being infected. Yet there are still several occurrences of the infection progressing even if you chose not to save them. Although this theory is the most simple, I doubt it is the most credible. This is probably my favorite theory on the list. In Hollow Knight, the Dream Realm is a place that you visit numerous times on your journey via Dream Nail, where you can fight bosses, get upgrades, and challenge the Radiance herself. It is kind of unclear whether the dream world is physical or not. On one hand you have bosses like the White Defender and the Soul Tyrant, where interacting with the boss changes virtually nothing. On the other hand you have things like the Nightmare King Grim fight, or White Palace, where changing the dream changes what happens in the physical world. The Radiance is the only dream boss where you can actually die, but we will get to that. When we enter the Hollow Knight's dream with the help of Hornet, we can find the Radiance positioned in the sky as a living sun. After she fights the knight, the siblings appear in the dream, chasing the Radiance up into the sky, where she is eventually defeated. This is the first detail suggesting that the place where we fight the Radiance is a dimension, rather than a single dream. For the second piece of evidence, we must look to the dream bosses, specifically the Lost Kin, Failed Champion and Soul Tyrant. These are bugs that when defeated, their corpses can be dream-nailed in order to face stronger, faster, obsessed versions of themselves. The Radiance infects bugs by plaguing their dreams and ideas, reverting them to those base instincts. These dream variants are likely what the Radiance infected when she took over the minds of the bosses. Perhaps she did this with every bug, infecting their dream version of themselves, spreading her light over the dream world as a giant sun in the sky. However, when it came to the Hollow Knight, her circumstances were different. Without a dream to infect, the Radiance was met with the Hollow Knight's void, which entangled her, trapping her and stopping her from infecting any of the other bugs' dreams in the dream world. Maybe that's why the knight can die to the Radiance, but not to the bug's dreams, and although this theory is more abstract, it would explain so much about the dream realm. and its mysterious lore implications. This would also explain the two Godmaster endings, where the Radiance is summoned by the God Seeker to challenge the Night in her dream, followed by the Void. So maybe the Pantheons are in the Dream Realm too. Which theory did you guys think was the best? Vote in the community tab of my YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Perhaps we will gain more information about the Hollow Knight's past when Silksong releases, although it is unlikely. See you next Friday.